He is 100% worth it.
He takes it to another level. Oh my God, I just fell in love with it.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Blew my mind. And it worked. I wanted to buy my thing.
Jay is, I would say, the Yoda of sales calls, man.
Just talking to Jay, he was so good at just taking what it is, seeing the opportunity and the value and the real reason we are making it.
Talk to Jay because he got it. He can definitely help you out.
Talk to Jay. You're going to get a lot. You're going to gain a lot.
I would absolutely recommend him for any position that you have.
Jay's definitely the guy.
Give him the chance, give him the opportunity. You won't regret it.
He's good at what he does, so I highly recommend him, and I would book him before he is fully booked out.
Welcome to the Sales Ninja Show podcast, where we cut through the noise, ditch the outdated sales tactics, and show you how to close deals with confidence, strategy, and integrity. I'm Jay Lee, founder of Sales Ninja, and if you're tired of chasing leads, handling endless objections, and feeling like you have to convince people to buy, you're definitely in the right place. Here, we do sales differently. We believe in positioning over pressure, where the right people lean in without the need for pushy tactics, and that's the heart of the reverse glass selling framework, which is a kingdom-driven approach built on trust, service, and true connection. Because when you lead with value, sales becomes effortless. And when you sell more, you can give more. Today's guest is someone who has spent over 15 years in the trenches of sales leadership. She specializes in high-ticket growth, helping companies move from $70,000 to $200,000 per month into multi-million-dollar months. She builds sales teams that perform under pressure, leads with structure, and scales without relying on hype. She blends strategy, psychology, and execution to create sales systems that actually hold up when revenue climbs. Instead of chasing spikes, she builds foundations. Instead of pushing scripts, she develops skill and leadership inside the team. So if you're serious about breaking revenue ceilings and building a sales organization that can sustain real growth, you'll want to lean in. Please welcome Assal Moradian.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro.
To the podcast. How are you, Assal?
I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
Very good. I'm better now that you're on the show. So excited to have you kind of just sharing all of the things that you've learned and leaning into some of the struggles. So why don't we dive right in?
Sure. Let's do it.
So what and where did it all start? Because, you know, not everyone can achieve what you've achieved. Did you have entrepreneurial, upbringings? Did you sell lemonade at a stand? Where did it all start?
Yeah, that's actually a really funny question. My first job ever, I was delivering newspapers, I think at the age of 14, just like on the street. So that was kind of my first job. And I would say I was never really into the whole school thing. I just really wanted to get out there and make money. But I was just brought into this idea that you have to go through school. But after high school, I started to realize, like, I kind of want to just be out there. I want to be talking to people. I want to be doing things. I don't want to be kind of locked into a space. So I went and got this regular job working in the mall. And it was a sales job, but I didn't know it was a sales job at the time. I just thought it was a regular job at the mall, selling phones, like iPhones and things like that. And so that's kind of where it all started. I started doing that, and I started doing really well, moved into the corporate side of that business. And then the rest is history. Just kind of stayed in sales from there.
Wow. Okay. So what age were you doing phone sales in a mall?
I was 18.
Okay. And so what about school did you not like? Because I'm with you too. So.
It's not that I don't believe in school. Like, obviously education is important, but I have this strong belief that, like, unless you're going to go to school to become a doctor or a lawyer or something that needs a degree like that to, move on in life, I just don't believe that that's where you need to be to go, like, to learn business. I think business is something that you learn through actually doing the work and actually being out there and meeting people and working. And I always knew I wanted to be in business. My dad is a business owner. And so I kind of grew up in that environment. I knew I wasn't going to be a doctor or a lawyer. So that's kind of why I wasn't really interested in going down that path.
So I'm just going to jump right in because, you know, this is Sales in the Show podcast. Why do you feel, or why do you believe that sales is one of the best, you know, things that you can be doing and making the most amount of money? Do you believe those things?
Yes, I do believe those things. I also believe that everything in life is sales. There's a lot of people who are in sales who probably don't even know they're in sales. I think that everything is a sales exchange. Sales is just a transfer of energy. So anywhere that you go, that you have a conversation with somebody, it could even be someone in customer service, it's still sales because they're trying to sell you on the belief of their product. So if you can master the art of actually just having that conversation, getting someone to align with your belief, you're in sales. You just don't know it, right? And so there's this common thing that people think that sales is like manipulation, or you're trying to push something onto someone, but that's not really what it is. It's just you trying to shift someone's belief and what they think into agreeing with what you're saying and enjoying what you're offering. It could be really anything, right? So that's why I think that sales is one of the it's the oldest trade in the world. And it's one of the most important skills to have, because you can even use sales in your personal life, right? Sales has a lot to do with like your confidence as a person. I think like I grew up and people meet me now and they think I just woke up and was born with this massive amount of confidence in the world where I just go out there and I'm like, you know, fighting all these battles. But I actually grew up with basically zero confidence.
Really?
Sales, yeah, zero. And it's all throughout high school and my personal life, I didn't have any confidence at all. Like I'd walk into a room and I'd be the quietest one in there. But sales is what gave me that confidence. It actually empowered me as a person, as a woman. And now when I go into the room, it's like a totally different person. And it's all because of sales. You just start rolling objections like in your mind, and it's just something that gets instilled into you and just helps you have that confidence to do a lot of things. So that's why I'm such a strong believer of sales and what it can really do for you on a personal level too.
That's amazing. You said it can affect your personal life too. Can you give an example of, I mean, for people who are listening, maybe it's like getting a better job. Maybe it's, you know, wooing someone into a relationship. Maybe it's, you know, getting something from your partner or your kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I handle objections with my kids all the time. Right. So it's like the art of negotiation. Right. That's so right. It's just the way that you handle it. Excuse me. Asking the right questions and also knowing your audience, like all these things I learned in sales. And like you said, too, like you mentioned, it could be your relationship. It could be any type of relationship that you have in your life, friends, boyfriend, husband, anybody. You're constantly dealing with objections and rolling objections. Right. So, yeah, I would say that if you're asking the right questions and you're doing the, you know, getting to know them better, then that obviously has to do with sales as well.
Yeah, amazing. So when you talk about this belief of product and mastering the art, you know, you also mentioned how sales can be seen as this like salesy, sleazy, pushy thing, but you talk about it in a different way, which is it gave you confidence, it gave you skills, it gave you, you know, an opportunity of a lifetime to make a lot of money. How do we avoid the sleaze and the pushy, aggressive tactics in sales? Because I know you train, you know, large sales teams, and I know some teams that I've been in high ticket sales have been like, you know, push for the card out of the wallet, force them to a sale. Like that didn't really resonate with me. And so, what is your philosophy and approach to sales?
Yeah, I would say 100% agree with you. Not like the whole industry has changed, the buyers have changed. So when you go into a sales call, if you're thinking, how do I make this sale? And you're trying to keep pushing to a sale and kind of maybe asking too many qualifying questions, you're going to have that commission breath. You're going to sound like you're in sales.
Commission breath? Is that what you said?
Yeah, commission breath. Right. So what I teach all of my closers and what I've always believed in is, first of all, you need to talk less. People love to talk about themselves. They like to be the center of the show. And so this person is coming to you with a problem. Your job is not to push your product and sell the bells and the whistles and sell the features of your program or product. Your job is to ask the right questions and understand how specifically what you have to offer is going to solve that individual's problem. So if you generalize it and you say, well, you know, we have all of this and we work with these people and we've done X, Y, and Z, they're not going to buy into that because sales is so emotional, right? So we're not selling on features. We're selling on emotion. How do I find something specific that is going to solve that person's specific problem. And so I always tell my closers, talk less, ask more questions, and just find a solution to that person's problem. If you can honestly find a solution specifically for that person, you're going to make that sale and walk out of there without having to handle hard objections. Like what I always say is, if you're at the end of the sales call and you're right and you drop the price and they hear the price and then you're going into hard objection handling where they're saying a hard no, you've already lost the sale. You've already done something wrong. My belief is that by the time you're at that stage in the call, it should be a slam dunk. You should know, hey, this is done. Like, this guy's going to do it. There's no way he's going to walk out of this because this is exactly what he needs. And I've actually found an answer to every single one of his problems that he has. So it's a slam dunk.
Okay. I have a perfect scenario. Let me just get a prompt.
Okay.
So you are, the sales, I don't know what the role is or the title, director or VP of performance.
Yeah, head of sales. Yeah, sure,
Okay.
whatever. Doesn't matter.
Director of sales. So I'm a golf fanatic, and I want you to role play in real time, if you don't mind. You're going to sell me the in-person, is it a 2-day event? And let's say it's like, I don't know, 10, 15, I can't remember the exact amount. Let's say $10,000 for easy money.
Okay.
So
$10,000 for a 2-day event. That's double the price, but yeah, okay. Sure.
Oh, see, there you go. Then we've got value here, because I'm like, if I can get better and you can help, if you ask me the right questions, then I'm willing to pay. So, so just for everyone who's listening to the podcast and watching the replay, Assal is the director of sales at Performance Golf, a $100 million plus company. And correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember the numbers. Is that about right?
Well, yes, the company itself makes $100 million. High ticket on its own is about $40 million department. Yeah.
Okay. So this new department that's selling this in-person 2-day events where they get these incredible golf instructors, the best in the world, Martin Chucks, and, probably people that work with Tiger Woods, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I'm interested because I'm like motivated to get better at golf. So Assal's on the call and I'm the prospect. I'm interested. So let's do a role play in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Jay, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So tell me a little bit about your game. What are you working on these days?
Man, oh boy, let's get started. I don't want to take too long because I know I could talk about this forever. My game, the more I played, the worse I got. And until I hired an instructor, and then it undid 15 years of my bad habits. And now I've got the bug. So I want to learn more. I saw your ad on the 2-day in-person. I don't know what the cost is. I don't know who the teachers are, but I'm definitely interested depending on timing and the investment.
Okay, fair enough. So what specifically are you struggling with right now in your game?
Oh boy. So my driver has a very low launch angle. So it's not going as far as I'd like it to. I think for a lot of people in golf, like if they can hit the 300-yard, point in their drives, I'm only averaging like 220 to 250 on a good day, but it's not consistent. And it's all over the place. Dispersion wise, I'm left, I'm right. It's like military golf. It's like left, right, left, right.
Right. Okay. So you want to gain more distance. Got it. And tell me a little bit about what's the best you've ever shot and what are you shooting now?
Great question. So I was in the hundreds. Because of that lesson, I came down to a 16.2 handicap. So I'm about at an 88 on average. Lately I've been playing, because I play in the indoor golf simulator. My friend who's a 10 handicap says I play as well as him, and I've been matching and almost beating him sometimes. So I want to get to a 10 handicap, but I'm at a 16, which is about 88 to 90.
Okay. So you're looking to shave off about 6 or 7 strokes, really, is what you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. Would you say you're a competitive guy?
Very.
Okay. How many guys do you go out there and play with when you go play?
I have a WhatsApp golf group of 45 guys that I fill every single week.
Nice. Okay. And how
we go every single week, and I fill it with
every week.
Guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go out there every week with 40 guys, did you say, or 4 guys?
Oh, sorry. I have a group of 40 guys that I fill with the 4 of us, a foursome every week.
Okay. And you guys are all competitive?
Not all of them, not as much as I am. Some of them.
How do you compare to those guys when you go out and play with them?
Except for one guy, I'm probably in the top, to say top 5%.
Okay.
Which is 5%. Not good because I need to golf with people who are better than me.
Right. Yeah. That's what keeps it going, right? You want to be the top of the pack. Okay, cool. And so how long have you been playing golf for? How many years?
15 plus years.
15 plus years. Okay. And so how off, like in between that time, how long have you tried to actually improve those 7 strokes? Like how long has that specifically been an issue for you, or a concern, I guess?
I feel like it's a lifetime, but in terms of paid and concerted effort, I'd say probably a year and a half, 2 years.
So you've been working on this for 2 years. What have you done so far to try and improve that or try to fix that?
I went to Golf Tech and I paid $1,500
Golf
for a
Tech.
swing coach. And that's where I went from like 110 to like, I hit, I think 80 last year or last summer.
Okay. So you're saying Golf Tech took you from 110 to 80?
Yeah.
And how many lessons was that?
10.
But you're saying that you told me that there was something in those lessons that actually made you worse, that you undid all this work for 15 years. What was that?
Sorry. So that I was getting worse for 15 years until I took the Golf Tech lessons, and that undid all the work. And now I've improved by like 30 strokes.
Okay. So why not just go back to Golf Tech then? What's got you interested in working with some of the top guys in the country?
Great question.
Instead of just going back to Golf Tech?
I feel like towards the end, it was more like, you know how doctors or some medical practitioners will just say, hey, here's a Band-Aid fix, keep coming back. And they kind of just like, hey, you need more lessons, but they don't really help you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And they
I understand.
keep coming back and paying more. That's what I was feeling towards the last. And then the upsell was like, that's where it was like a bit salesy and pushy. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So here's the deal, right, with Golf Tech and just generally local instructors. I mean, you can go down the street and get instruction for like $200 an hour, right? We already know that. And same with Golf Tech too. Golf Tech, I have golfers who spend $3,000 to $4,000 on Golf Tech, and they are improving. Obviously, it works. Otherwise, they'd be out of business.
Right.
The idea is that you get to a certain point in your game where you're like, okay, I just want to like get better in the fastest way possible and just nip it in the bud. But not only that, it's about that consistency. Like we want to get you good, but then we want to get you consistently good so that you're playing better permanently. Mm-hmm. And that requires a plan that you're going to follow. It's kind of like going to the gym, right? And kind of like working out. So you go to the gym, you see your personal trainer, but if you don't follow the diet plan to a T for the certain amount of time that you need to follow it and actually do the workouts exactly the way that he tells you to, you might lose a little bit of weight. You might get a tiny bit of results, but if you want permanent results and you just want to live a healthy lifestyle, you need that continuous plan to move forward. So that's the philosophy of how we follow it with our academies and the way that we run them. And that's why we work with the guys that, you know, you've probably seen in all the videos is we work on speed. We're trying to expedite the speed in which you're going to see these results. Mm-hmm. And then also make sure that you have a plan moving forward so that you're not in this position again where you're kind of treading between just trying to knock 6 strokes off, right? That's the goal.
How do you instill a plan after the academy or the 2-day? Like, how does that work?
You're a couple steps ahead of me. Let's go slow so I can explain to you exactly how everything works so you fully understand. Okay, sure. So I'll explain it to you. Okay, so basically what we do is we had this philosophy called the root flaw, which you've probably seen and probably heard of if you've gone through the emails. And what that means is that we are going to focus on every golfer has 5 or 6 swing flaws. Everyone, you have it, I have it, Martin Chuck has it, everyone has it, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is that your unique swing flaw, there's one root flaw that you probably have in your swing that you probably don't even know about. And we have to diagnose that specific root flaw. What that's going to do is it's going to fix probably 2 or 3 other issues that you have in your swing that you probably don't even know about. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So how it works is you come to the academy and we're going to help you on day 1 is about figuring out what your root flaw is. Every golfer's root flaw is different. So when you go to this academy, it's not like cookie cutter where everyone's kind of working on the same thing all at once, right? It's not like, okay, let's all, work on our driver. Let's all work on our putting. Every golfer, we have to determine what their swing flaw is, what their root flaw is. And then once you figure that out, it's about that rinse and repeat all day throughout the day of day 1. And then day 2 is about really getting that consistency. And so you're going to go out there and you're actually going to play on course with the coach, looking over your shoulder and making, because you and I both know everyone can have good range game, right? Like you can go to the range and hit it perfectly. And then you go out to the course and it's a whole different game, right? So we do the practice stuff. We do all that. We work on all aspects of your game. And I know a lot of golfers say, well, my putting is amazing. No, my iron play is amazing. But it's important for the coach to look at every single aspect of your game and be able to just kind of fine tune things. You're often just a little bit off. And back to your point earlier that you mentioned to me, it's like undoing all that work. we don't want to undo all the work that you've been trying to do over the last 15 years that you've been playing golf, right? The goal is to take what you're already doing well, fine tune, and just give you that little push that's really going to take your game from where you're at now to consistently where you want to be.
Love
Does that
it.
make sense?
Yeah. I didn't know that the day 2 was on field or on course coach. So how many people are in this, and are we like in a group of like 4s with a coach each, or on day 2?
The coach to student ratio is 3-to-1. So
Okay.
it'll be you and 2 other people. There'll be probably around 6 people there at the academy, which is very small. And then you've got the main coach. So you've got, Martin Chuck or someone like that. And then you've got 2 helper coaches as well there.
Oh, wow. I thought there were going to be like 50 to 100 people at the academy or something.
Oh, no. They're very intimate, small settings. It's called an academy, but it's a very small, intimate setting because we want you, again, it's about getting you results in 2 days. So you need that undivided attention, working on your root flaw for those 2 days.
Okay. Yeah, because when you said like, I took group lessons and there's like 50 people and they're all at the range and they're doing all the same thing because they can't give them the span of care and attention, right? And obviously there's no improvement, right?
Yeah. So how do you feel like what I just mentioned to you compares to what you've done with Golf Tech or in the past with your lessons to try and improve?
Yeah, it sounds. I think I like the practicality of it, and I like the in-person. I've been following Martin Chuck and all those guys in performance golf. So, and I am a client in the course portal as well. So I bought a lot of things.
Yeah, I can see that.
The only thing that Golf Tech I feel, and I don't know if you guys have this, has done well is in their app. They've given me all the drills, the personalized custom plans, and I get to keep that for life even after, and I can look back at that. Do you guys have something like that as well, or?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Well, we do it slightly differently. So I guess for you, what would be important when you come home from the academy? What do you need in order to be able to continue to do well and hit your goals?
Yeah, I think having a plan, like you said, is important. And then having a consistent, practice regimen. I'm a visual learner and a kinesthetic learner. So I think for the Golf Tech, they gave me that visual, and the kinesthetic is me just taking that and practicing it and just zoning in. The thing that was kind of what's the word? The thing that didn't keep me coming back outside of the more like the upsell, the pushing for the sale, which that kind of turned me off, was I felt like towards the end I didn't get much better. It was the first lesson actually that I was good after one lesson.
Yeah, that's good. So you're a fast learner.
Yeah, and I am. And I think after that is everything's kind of like a Band-Aid fix, kind of like, hey, keep coming. And long story short, and this is a bit of hurt, is like there was in the clause, there was like a practice session that you get on top of that. And then at the end of my lessons, he's like, oh, how come you didn't use the practice thing? And I'm like, I didn't know I had that. And so he goes, oh, it's too bad. You're out of your practice session. So why don't you just sign up for the next one so you can practice? I'm like, I wish you had told me that in the beginning so I could have taken 30 minutes to practice before the things that you taught me last time. Yeah. So that was a bit of like,
Yeah. So to that point, obviously, when you come to the academy, we hook you up to a whole bunch of new cool tech. And this tech is kind of similar to TrackMan. You've probably heard of it before. Yeah, and they're going to be taking videos of your swing. They're going to take a video of your swing when you first come to the academy, what it looks like, and then throughout the academy, and then one at the end too, so you can kind of see your own progression. And then what's going to happen is they're also going to send you a summary video at the end of the academy showing you exactly what you learned, because you need to take that video and then be able to remember, okay, this is what we practiced on. This is what we worked on, right? Now, in addition to that, we want you to feel like you've got your coach in your pocket at all times. So you could have an amazing 2 days, but then when you go out and practice or you go out and play, we have to make sure that everything is kind of engraved into your memory so that you're actually able to apply that consistently, right? So how we do that is we have something called VIP coaching. So what this means is that you're going to actually have a coach that's going to be working with you consistently after you come home from the academy. Okay. So think about it. Every time you go out there, imagine if you could send a video of your swing to the coach and get them to send you an analysis back on exactly what you're doing, what you need to work on.
That sounds amazing.
Right. So we want to have that consistent, tight feedback loop with you, right? It's very, very important that everything that you learn is going into the mechanics and then also staying there, right? So do you think that you're the type of guy that would go out there and actually send the videos? Because I need you to be able to send at least 2 videos a week to your coach when you come back from the academy. Do you feel like you could commit to that?
When I go to the golf sim, I record like 70 videos per session.
Okay, good. Okay, good. That'll be the record. You know, if you could do it 70 every single time, we'd love that. But yeah,
I got
so
a
you're going to
tripod
get
set up. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, and then when you go out to actually practice on course, that's important too, to take your videos too. Because
how do you do that on course?
You bring your tripod with you, or you get someone to film it for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very easy to do. I mean, I got guys, in their 80s doing it. So you could definitely do it. Yeah.
Okay.
And so basically, as you're sending these videos, we're going to send you feedback back saying, hey, Jay, you're a little bit off here. You just got to work on a little bit of this. And then you're just a little bit off. And then it's going to help you keep fine tuning these things. Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, is that included in the 2-day or is that a separate thing?
Of course it's included. Again, like I mentioned, it's a part of the whole plan, right?
Really?
We're not just sending you out there for 2 days to bang a bunch of balls and come home and be like, wait a minute, what did I just even do, right? This is the whole plan. So it's the 2 days at the academy and then the 12 months of follow through after that.
Really?
Yes.
And how often do I get to upload those videos?
It's unlimited. You can do it as much as you want. I would suggest that you do it as much as you can. If you're doing 70 videos, you said every time you go to the sim, then you should be able to, you'll beat the record. So you'll be fine.
Tell me what's the next steps and where's the next, I don't know, location or whatever.
Okay. Well, the locations is, a little bit of a complicated thing. It's not about sending you to somebody who's in your backyard. It's about sending you to the specific coach. So I know already where I'm going to send you. It just depends on the timing of what you have available, right?
Okay.
Based on where you're at in your game and where you want to be, Martin Chuck is your guy.
I love
But I have very, very, very limited spots with him though. So what does the next 3 months look like for you? Like, actually not even 3 months. What does March and April look like for you? Are you available?
Depends on the date.
Okay, but I only have 2 dates, right? So
Okay.
I only have March 6th and 7th and April 23rd and 24th. So out of those 2 specific dates, which one can you do? Because I only have 1 spot in the first one and then 2 spots in the second one.
And where are these?
These are going to be in Phoenix, Arizona at the Raven.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Let's just see. March 6th. That's in like 2 weeks. Okay.
Correct.
Sorry. That's my daughter's birthday. So probably April 23rd, 24th.
You can for sure make those dates.
Let me just double check here. April 23rd, 24th. 23rd. That's a Thursday and Friday.
Yep, that's correct.
23rd. Yeah, looks good.
Okay, well, anyways, even if you needed to move those dates slightly, we could always look at it. But just to let you know, Martin Chuck is booked out to 2027. So if something comes up and we have a bit of notice, we can always move that date and push it. But I'm trying to get you out there right before the season starts so we can kind of nip this in the bud and you can just have an amazing season.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like this is exactly what you were looking for? Do you not feel like it's exactly what you were looking for? Just tell me exactly what you're feeling like right now. Is there anything that would hold you back, I guess, from doing this and coming out to this thing? Pulling the trigger on it.
I guess, and this is a silly question, but are there any guaranteed results?
I mean, nothing in life is a guarantee, right? Because you got to actually show up and you got to do the work.
Yep.
But based off of people who have gone, the strategy itself, the way that we do it is a guaranteed result plan. It just depends if you're going to actually put in the work.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to do the work. I practice every single day.
As long as you're willing to do the work, then the method itself is proven to work. It's designed to literally get you the results that you're looking for and even do better.
Okay.
Okay. So anything else that would hold you back from pulling the trigger on this today, Jay?
Price?
Price would hold you back.
It could, depending on how much it is.
It could hold you back.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, walk me through that. Why would the price hold you back? I mean, you've already invested thousands of dollars in taking lessons and you're looking for something very specific. So why would we let cost, I guess, hold us back? Because I don't want cost to ever be to the reason why you don't do something like this. But tell me what you're thinking through here.
Yeah, great question. My wife's an accountant and she's like, we've got a limited budget. I got 3 kids that go to Christian private school. So we've got limited resources. And she's like, we did golf last year and put quite a bit of budget towards that. And she's like, if she found out, depending on the cost of this, she might kill me, right? So
Okay.
this is
well,
what probably a lot of husbands get from their wives, right?
Yeah, we definitely don't want your wife to kill you, but is your wife a golfer?
No, unfortunately, she's not. I try to get her
Okay.
into it. I bought her clubs, and she doesn't. She said, if I want to enjoy golf, just go with my friends. So that's what I do.
Right. Does she know that how much you love golf and how much
Oh,
like?
I
Okay.
yeah. That's
And I'm sure she knows how competitive you are if she's your wife.
yes, very.
So does she know what it would mean to you to actually go out there and play the way you want to play and have that consistent play?
Yeah, she just because she's an accountant, she's like always looking at is it worth it, and is now the right time?
Right, I understand. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure that your wife is also there to support you. And as long as she feels that you're going to be held accountable and you're going to actually do the things that you need to do to get the results, I'm sure she's not going to have a problem with you spending the money. Right. So it really just comes down to you at the end of the day. If you feel that if you do this, you're going to get the results and it's going to be worth it to you, you're not going to have to worry about what your wife is going to have to say, because she's going to obviously support you no matter what you do, as long as it's going to get you the results. She probably doesn't want you to just waste your money on a whole bunch of lessons and then maybe not get the results. That's just, I think, what all wives are worried about. Like, is he actually going to get what he put his money into?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. So in that case, we're not going to let costs hold us back. We're going to find a way to make it work. I'm here to help you, right? My job is to help you. Now, do you feel like everything we discussed, though, the plan itself, the program, the method, all of it, do you feel like that itself is going to get you to where you want to be? Is there any reason why you feel like it's not going to get you the results that you're looking for?
You know, I like the 2 day alone, that kind of was like could have been a showstopper, but with the 12 months VIP, unlimited swing coach analysis, I don't know if it's like, and here's my devil's advocate, but is it like a beginner coach, or is it like, it's probably not a Martin Chuck because he doesn't have, that's not scalable, right? So who's looking at my swings?
It's going to be a PGA pro that works directly with Martin Chuck. And actually, Martin Chuck, when you sign up for a Martin Chuck program, you get to work with him specifically. So he's the one who's actually going to be working with you. Usually at Performance Golf with other coaches, he's a PGA pro, but with Martin Chuck, it's him specifically sending you that direct feedback back. Wow. So it is going to be him. Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel like you're ready. So let's do this. Okay. So basically, the cost of the 2-day experience with Martin Chuck and his team, immersive, plus the 12 months of VIP coaching on the back end with Martin Chuck himself, the investment on that is only $6,500.
$6,500?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, we can just get you enrolled and get you started. So I can just get started with your credit card number.
Can you hear me? Our Zoom is frozen.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. What I was going to say is, do you offer payment plans?
Most of my guys just pay this up front. Is that something that you need, or do you feel like you're good to pay it?
I would probably need a payment plan if we're going to make this happen.
Let's look at that. What are you able to put forward today?
What do you guys have? Do you guys have any like what's the options that I have in terms of whether
Can you do 50% today and then 50% in 30 days?
That's a bit of a stretch. Do you have anything else that could help me make a decision?
Yeah. So yeah, of course. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you feel comfortable putting forward today? You tell me. If you were to break up the 6,500, I mean, I can't break it up too much, obviously, because you're going in 2 months and it needs to be paid up before you go. So we could break it up into 2 or maybe 3 and help you out, but I wouldn't be able to do it any more than that because you're literally going in 2 months.
Yeah. What does it look like for 3 payments?
It would start with a $2,000 payment, and then we would break up the rest in 2 months. Into 2, sorry.
And what's the remainder? So 4,500 over, so 2,000 now and 4,500 broken into 2 payments.
Correct.
Over the next 60 days?
That's right.
Okay. And what's the next payment after 2K?
The next payment after 2K, let me just get out my calculator here to give you the exact number. So if we do 6,500, that leaves us with 4,500. So then 4,500 divided by 2, you're looking at $2,250.
And when would those be due?
So the first $2,250 after the 2K payment will be due in 30 days. And then the other one will be due again in 30 days. So March 25th. And then I guess we'd have to take it out probably a little bit earlier than when you're going. So you're going literally right at that time. So maybe a week before you go, we'd have to take the $2,250 out again.
Okay.
So April 16th or something like that.
That'll work for me.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's go then. Let's get started.
Awesome. Okay, so a lot of people are commenting and they don't know if this is real or not. So like watch this. Is this still role play? Yes, it was all role play. Andrew's one of my clients. Sal, amazing. Great job.
Thank you. God, my closers are gonna love watching me on that.
Exactly. This would be great training. You did a great job assessing, diagnosing, going to the pain. You know, you're assertive, you're leading, but not pushy. Amazing.
Thank
You made me
you.
want to buy this. So great job. I can see why people would want to, join the 2-day intensive. And again,
I shaved it down a lot. Like there's a lot of things I skipped over because obviously we're in a role play. So like there's a whole thing about like trying to figure out the right academy, like recommending the coach, selling on the coach. I skipped all of that because obviously we have
you know what?
on time.
I honestly don't feel like I needed that other stuff.
Well, that's good news for me. Maybe that's something I need to start implementing.
Yeah, you can even shorten the sales cycle and the calls.
Yeah.
So great job, amazing.
Thanks.
I love the VIP coaching. I honestly didn't even know about that. So that's like boom, like that to me is the selling point of like
it is.
I need that consistent plan and consistent, coaching from somebody because I'm practicing, so I want to make sure that I'm staying on target.
Yeah.
So excellent. So the next question is everyone give her a hand, just great job. There's like 16,000 people watching this right now. So this is pretty cool.
Nice.
$20 million in sales is kind of nuts. She must be good. Yeah. Well, she's actually great. And actually one of my other clients is, I think Jay is serious in the role play.
I know you're a very good actor.
Thank you. So a couple of other sounds like a masterclass. It truly is a masterclass. If you guys watch Assal, she is a technician and she did amazing with this. So what patterns did you start noticing in companies stuck between 70K and 200K months? And how did you help them push past that barrier?
Yeah, I think one thing I learned at Performance Golf and through Brixton is you really got to push the limits and push the boundaries and go with things and not focus too much on like ad spend or marketing or anything like that. So what he's really taught me is sometimes you just got to wing it a little bit and you got to do it. Right. And so sometimes, you'll come up with this idea or, he'll come up with this idea and it sounds like, whoa, I'm not sure if we're really ready for that. And he'll be like, just do it. And so you kind of just go out there and do it. And it could be like a new offer or raising the price or offering something completely out of the blue that we never really thought that we would offer. And actually just doing those things and having a leader that actually pushes the boundaries like that, I think is what you need. And a lot of companies don't have that. For me specifically, what I feel like has really worked is you need to have your sales team on a very consistent way of selling a product. And that's something that a lot of people don't have. So it's like, it's the Wild West out there. Sales teams are just saying whatever they want. They're kind of going off script. And I don't believe in the script. Like I don't believe in any type of script where people are following something word for word. What I believe in is framework. Every closer should be following a step-by-step framework on every single sales call consistently, right? And that is very, very important. And as a sales leader like myself, you have to push your team to follow that framework consistently and literally push them to follow that to a T. If they go off of that and it becomes the Wild West, then you're not going to get the results. And that's where the company itself just stays stagnant. Everyone's kind of doing whatever they want, saying whatever they want, pitching wherever they want, not following the framework of a script. And that'll throw the whole team off. So, yeah.
Yeah, we have, they saying this episode is going to be fire for closers for training. Absolutely. So you made a really good point that, that when they follow the frameworks and you're leading a very high performance sales team, how do you help the person, let's say out of the 10 people on your sales team, the person who's struggling the most? And it's not that he or she is bad. It's that the other team members are so good. Because I've heard your numbers, I've heard your stats, and they're astounding. They're way above average. And the person that is, the laggard or the one that's on the bottom in a high ticket world, they're probably way better than average. So how do you help that person?
Well, I mean, one thing is like when you join my sales team, you come onto a team where everyone's a high performer, and I maintain that. And so that culture is very, very, very important because they come onto the sales team and they're like, holy crap, everyone's crushing it, right? Everyone. There is no C player, there is no B player. I have a team of A players, and I'm very grateful for that, right? But that's something that we've created as a team. And so when you come in, the pressure's on already, right? So you either kind of get in it or you get out. And it's kind of that pressure that I think pushes people to where they need to be and gets them excited. Because at the end of the day, these guys are all 100% commission. They're here to make money, nothing else, right? So for me, it's about when they come in, it's what can I do to make sure that this person gets exactly what they need to be successful and make the most amount of money as possible. And I go hard on like feedback and pushing, and I do whatever I can myself to help them do that. But if the person themselves doesn't have that grit and that tenacity to push, if they're not willing to work weekends, if they're not willing to work more than everybody else, like when you join a sales team, you have to be willing to outperform everybody and actually be able to outwork everybody. That's what I did in my whole sales career. Is I was like, okay, top guy's working 6 hours, I'm going to work 12 hours and outwork him. And in return, I was able to outperform them. So the only difference between this closer and that closer is literally just the fact that they are working harder and working more and doing everything that the number one closer is doing 5 times more. So my goal is to just keep empowering them to do that. But again, you can do everything and that person might not be successful. But as long as I feel like I've done everything I can to make sure that they do it, then we're good.
I feel like there's like I hear like a Kobe Bryant, work ethic, Michael Jordan and Ronda Rousey, all these people who are like the highest performers. How do you avoid burnout when people are like they're drinking the Kool-Aid and they're doing 5 to 10 times harder because they want to perform higher? They are starting to get results. How do you avoid a burnout culture?
I think that momentum is key. When you have momentum, burnout doesn't exist because you're just like on to the next, and you're making a lot of money and you're very happy. I am very conscious of burnout with my sales team. So when I watch their calls, I literally watch their calls all day long as they're on calls. So they know I'm watching, and I can kind of tell when a closer is maybe a little bit too tired, or maybe they've just come off of a very hot month and spoken to 300 golfers and they're just like, the next month is a bit stagnant. And so I'll pull them off. I'll give them a day off. I'll just say like to take a deep breath, like you just get yourself back to where you need to be. So I'm very conscious of that. Me, myself, I don't burn out. And I think that I don't burn out because I'm constantly creating momentum. And this is like I don't feel like we have time. I think everyone always says, oh, you have time. You can do this. You can do that. I'm not going to be this age forever. I'm not going to have this energy forever. So I feel like there is no time. It's like go time, right? This is in between any closer when they're in the ages of 21 and 40 is like, that is the only time you have to make a maximum amount of money that you can make as a high ticket closer, and then kind of just, do something else maybe later on. So we don't have time, like to find a goal and just speed through it as much as possible. So I personally don't burn out. And I get that question all the time. How do you not burn out? How do you have all this energy? It's like, I just create momentum for myself in my mind. That's my mindset is my most powerful tool. Like momentum, keep going. There's always another goal and there's always another place to be. So that's how I prevent burnout for myself. And then with my closers, it's maybe slightly different, but I'd say something to be cautious of for sure, but I don't think that it should ever get in the way of anything.
Amazing. Let's talk a little bit of technology, and I know we're running out of time here, so I want to respect your time. Sales tools, AI tools. I know you're reviewing and auditing calls all day, like you said. Is there a way to shorten or collapse time with some of these tools that are available in the market to help analyze, to help increase close rates, cash collected rates, etc.?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The only way that I use AI, I don't feel like AI is as good as my brain or like a human being in general.
Yeah.
I believe in like, I have to watch the call to hear the closer's tonality, look at their body language, look at their eye contact. These things are all important in sales as well. We do use Avoma that records all of our Zoom calls and puts it into an AI format that gives us a transcript and gives us a summary of what happened. And I do look at that because it'll tell me exactly when an objection came up, exactly where the price drop is. So it does help me, but I wouldn't say that I really use AI too much in my day-to-day because I'm just focused on the human-to-human interaction with my closers.
Amazing. What breaks first when a company scales too fast as you're scaling the sales team?
What breaks first?
Yeah.
I would say people, like the people in the department itself. You have to have the right people, the right work ethic. Like I said, tenacity, grit. You have to be incredibly resilient, and you have to be relentless in focus of getting the goal. If one person in that team is not focused on the overall goal, the thing will fall apart. So just getting everyone, rounding up the troops and having this kind of host and leadership mentality of like, let's get it, and getting them excited for the same goal and the same mission is really what helps teams scale to where they need to go. Having the wrong people, I'm talking about leaders, I'm talking about CEO, I'm talking about everybody. One person in that falls through and the team can't get to their goal.
One thing I noticed about you that is really, stands out, and maybe more so than other people that I notice, is the culture that you're building. You talked about having A-list players. You talked about these amazing elite sales closer who perform at the highest levels. My question, and probably everyone's wondering here, is how do you find, recruit, train? Do they come as A-list players? Are you helping them get better? Is it all the above? If so, what are some of the criteria when you're looking for these kinds of people that will bring them onto your team?
Yeah. I like to think that I've been very lucky with the team I have right now because they have all been A players. But like I said, the way that I hire them is sometimes I go into Facebook groups, high ticket Facebook groups, and I'll make a post and they'll reply. I'm very, very picky in my hiring process. I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at work ethic, availability. I don't care about what you've done in the past. People come onto interviews and they're like, I've closed $50 million in revenue, but like, what does that even mean? Like, is it cash collected? Is it revenue? And like, I don't want to get into that nitty gritty. It doesn't matter for me how much you've closed. What matters to me is your work ethic and the energy that you bring. And like, is that going to work with me or not? So I do like a mock call with them. But yes, I would say that I get a gut feeling when I do an interview of if someone is an A player or a B player or a C player, and I kind of just run with that. Sometimes I've been wrong. Obviously, everyone's wrong sometimes. But when they come onto my team, I'm constantly looking at like, are you an A player or a B player? And if you're a B player, are you willing to become an A player? And I just keep working with them on that. And if they don't make it, they don't make it, right? But like I said, most people on my team are making it. And it's because, again, they're amongst other A players. You put an A player with a B player, that B player will likely become an A player. But if you put an A player beside a C player, you're going to demotivate the A player, first of all, because he's like, why is that C player even on my team when I'm working like this and I'm getting these results? And the C player will never be an A player. So it's all about that.
So when you have a B player to become an A player, what does that conversation sound like?
When I'm trying to get a B player to become an A player?
Yes.
Well, I got to figure out what their why is. Why are you here, right? What is your goal? Like, do you have kids and are you trying to create a better life for them? Do you want to be super rich and go buy a yacht? Like, what is your goal as a high ticket closer? You're here to make money. What is your why? How can we get you to that why? And are you willing to do the work, the training? And do you have what it takes to really become? And are you willing to become an A player? Are you willing to do, basically, I would look at that guy and say, are you willing to do what guy A player, Mr. A player is doing to get those results? Are you willing to do that, right? Yeah. You always have to be looking at like, how can I become a better version of myself and get better results as a salesperson in it could be high ticket, it could be, working at the telephone store like I was when I was 18. How can you get better every single day and become a better version of yourself as a salesperson? Right. So that's what I look for. Yeah.
I'm going to get to the lightning round and then also the strategy call, because I think some people are asking even in the YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook feed. Andrew says, I always played terrible in sports versus a player that was below my skill level. I let overthinking and anger get the best of me. So who you are around makes all the difference.
It really does, yeah.
Some people are asking, what kind of psychology is this about? Well, you can find out through a free consult call. We're going to put a link at the top. Let me just get it up here. And it is a free 30-minute consultation. If you want to scale your team or your business, there is a link in the show notes to book a call with Assal. And people are saying she's a beast. I heard of her. Systems are key. I know how people manage. I don't know how people manage 9 figures. And this person says, I need to get my team structure right. The data part is what I need to focus on. And this seems like advanced stuff. So we're going to go into our lightning round, but what can people expect on this 30-minute consult call when they schedule a call with you?
Well, I mean, 30 minutes is not a very long time, but it's really about figuring out where their offer is at, what troubles are they having, what problems are they having with their sales team specifically, and how can we get them to get to their next level.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
So one of the questions I'll use as a lightning round, because the people are asking, is can you explain high ticket sales for newbies and
Sure.
what's possible for OTE, which is on target earnings?
Yeah. High ticket sales is just a fancy word for sales. They call it high ticket because the amount that you're selling is over $5,000, right? So anything that you sell that's worth over $5,000 is considered high ticket. It's just a fancy word really for sales rep, right? Basically what it is there's an offering. So there's somebody, let's say a fitness coach, and they are helping people lose weight and get the abs that they're looking for. And so they have a program that you can follow and get that for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. So they're advertising this online. And then what happens is you've got a team of closers who get those applications for people who want to join the program and put them on a 45-minute Zoom call, and they run the Zoom call and they close those people on the amount that the ticket is worth. So ticket is just the cost, really, is what it is. And that's what we call high ticket sales. So you're selling a product, or usually it's a program, a coaching program for a coach in the space. It could be a fitness coach. It could be a relationship coach. It could be anything like that.
Right. And you're saying the 30-minute value that you're giving is a lot for someone who's as successful as you. And then the other person's like, it's for big deals, bro, not small stuff. And then someone's saying her advice sounds legit though. Okay, so here's the last part of the lightning round. So coffee or tea in the morning?
Coffee.
Okay.
Always.
McDonald's or healthy foods?
Healthy foods.
Okay. What's the hiring mistake that costs founders the most money?
Hiring fast and firing slow.
Do you recommend the opposite?
Yes.
Okay.
Hire slow, fire fast.
Okay, gotcha. When should a founder stop being the primary high ticket closer?
When they have a sales manager that they can trust to run their process the way that they want to run it.
Okay, so it's not like a revenue thing, or?
No, it's not a revenue thing. I mean, Brixton was on me even once we surpassed $2 million. Like he was just still very much so involved. I mean, he wasn't taking calls, but very much so involved. So it's about that trust, because founders, what they don't want is for you to take their product or sell it in a way that is either unethical or not the way that they want it to be sold. So once they believe that they have that trust, they watch sales calls and they believe they have a manager and a team they can trust, then they can kind of go and work on all the other things they have to work on.
Awesome. So for the future, where do you believe sales leadership, because you're a sales leader, is heading in the next 5 years?
That's a tough question. I've met a lot of crappy sales leaders, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's hard to find sales leaders that are actually able to treat this like their own business and give it the work and the attention that it needs. I had a little bit of a break in my career where I actually had to go back to being a closer for a few months, and I met a couple sales managers there, and I was like, what is going on here? Like, they're just not around. They don't respond. They're not looking at everything, finer details. And then there's all these leaky buckets in sales where leads are just dropping through and like, they don't really care.
Right.
So to be able to find a sales leader that actually cares and is going to take that founder's vision and treat it like their own business and care about every single lead, every single closer, every single dollar that is being spent, I think is very, very hard to find. And I hope that there's some people out there who are in high ticket sales right now who want to be leaders and are willing to really take it to that level as some of the great leaders that we probably do have in the space too. So where it's headed in the next 5 years, I don't know. I hope it's headed in a better direction. I hope that other leaders are training and working with their reps that they feel like have those leadership qualities to train them to become amazing leaders in the future.
Well said. I'm going to ask the last question from the audience, actually.
Sure.
What's the difference between 7-figure and 8-figure organizations?
What's the difference? As in, I guess it just comes down to what your goals are and what you're willing to actually do to get there, right? How hard are you willing to actually work to get there? There is no difference, right? Sky's the limit. If someone had told me, almost 3 years ago when I started at Performance Golf that we were going to go from 250 to 3 million in a year, I would have been like, you're nuts, right? But it's about having that belief that you can actually do it. And like I said, going as fast as possible to that target that you can.
You say 250K to 3 million?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would have been like, I don't even know if that's possible, right? Like it's a big goal, right? How are we going to do that? But it's about, like I said, charging towards the target as fast as you can without stopping and having that belief that you can get there and it can happen. Right?
Okay. Incredible. I've asked about half of the questions, so I'd love to have you on a part 2. A lot of people have questions as well.
Sure.
If you want to get a hold of you, Assal is available for a free 30-minute consultation. Make sure that you don't waste her time. She is an A-list player. So if you're looking to scale your team or your company to the multi, 7, 8, 9 figures, then book a call on her calendar link. Yes, always bring the best guests. Yes, Assal is incredible. So
thanks, Jay.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Definitely want to do a part 2. You're incredible.
Sure.
And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We have like almost 17,000 people watching right now.
That's
Thanks
amazing.
for tuning into the Sales Ninja Show podcast. Now go apply what you learned from Assal to your next sales conversation and practice leading with clarity, calm, and service. If you're ready to master faith-driven sales psychology and close high-ticket deals with integrity, head over to my DMs and join some free training. We are here to help you sell more, to give more with confidence, and serve from a place of purpose. Assal was talking about, your why. And, one thing that I really loved about what she said was, sales leadership is what people, when they really care, like it's their own business. And a lot of people, and I would say even most, and you can probably agree with me, Assal, from your experience, they don't care. And so we need to serve from a place of why and a place of purpose. Remember, your work is stewardship. Keep your eyes on God. Stay faithful in the small steps. And we'll see you guys in the next episode so you can sell more to give more. Thank you so much.
No worries. My pleasure.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Okay,
bye
for now.